Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going in Raw podcast. Joey Janela always goes in.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going in Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Stephen Larson's Going in Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. We got a couple of big announcements coming up for the rest of this week, and we're going to review AEW Dynamite. Larson's got a Dynamite theory, I'm hoping, about how Hangman Page is still going to wrestle at All Out. But before we hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you're listening to us in the audio realm, do us a favor, leave us a rating, a review, or a comment. It goes a long way towards Going in Raw. We want to be growing in Raw, man. So first up, tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Welcome to the Going in Raw Smash Zone. That's right, Larson, myself, the Enforcer. Instead of being in the Impact Zone, we're going to be in our own Smash Zone, and we're going to be watching all sorts of crazy stuff on the Twitch. It should be a lot of fun, so join us for that because Impact doesn't let us watch their show on
Twitch anymore. I know.
On Twitch anymore.
Bummer.
So that sucks. But I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, on Friday, we're going to be doing a live watch-along for Rampage. So we're privately going to watch SmackDown, and then we're going to go live for Rampage, watch that all together, and then go straight into our review of both of those shows.
Correct.
So check that out on Friday. Should be fun. And then, of course, on Saturday, the biggest wrestling event of the year.
Oh, hands down.
AAA's Triple Mania Wrestling Extravaganza. Man.
Can't wait.
Entiende. This is going to be huge. We've got Church of Joshi joining us. The Church of Friendos are all going to be together for Triple Mania. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I got my Pacifico ready to go.
Oh.
I might bust out the Rudo tequila over there for this. Do some shots. I'll do what drinking game should we have for Triple Mania, Larson? Do a shot every time. What?
Now, if we do that, uncomfortable mariachi was going to be there. Be every time he acts uncomfortable, but I don't know if he's going to be there. So I'll have to it remains to be seen what drinking game. Is that bottle of tequila we got a while ago? Friendo sent us?
A long time
wow.
ago. Yeah,
I finished mine a long time ago.
I know. You told me. One of the differences between you and I, my friend. Anyways, so yeah, no, that should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. So was it good tequila? Did you enjoy it?
It was good.
Good stuff. Okay, right on. All right. Well, I
don't drink it. I don't just drink anything and everything. Come on.
You're not making bathtub hooch?
No.
No? All right.
You know how to do that.
That'd be kind of cool. So anyways, really? You've never learned how to do that? I'm actually kind of surprised. Like you usually like bone up on stuff like that.
No,
I would think.
That seems outside my pay grade, so I haven't even bothered.
Never thought about starting your own brewery, really?
No.
All right. Well, there you go. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day when I have the time to dedicate to it, because it's pretty time consuming. Anyways, let's talk about Dynamite. You want to get to the
one last thing.
You need to plug something else. All right.
Sorry. Numbers don't lie. We're filming it tomorrow. The survey is up now.
Correct. I just put the link here in chat.
Awesome. HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, is up for analysis. So be sure to hit up patreon.com/Stephen Larson or visit us, like on the Twitch. YouTube. But I don't know if we have a show. Oh, we've got our UK show tomorrow morning. So you can still check it out there on the Twitch. And then, of course, YouTube channel memberships as well. AEW Dynamite tonight on the road to All Out. It was revealed that Christian Cage would get his title shot at All Out. But before that, coming up on Rampage's debut, we've got Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega for the Impact title. So are we going to get 2 Christian Cage, Kenny Omega matches? Larson, what's your theory on this? What's happening?
No.
Walk me off the ledge then. How is this going to go down? The Wrestling Observer himself, Dave Meltzer, said Hangman's not going to be at All Out.
This is how, yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess Dave did say that, but whatever. So let's establish a couple things that we could generally accept as fact, okay?
Fact, yes.
Or as near as concrete facts as we can, given that we're not in the writer's room or not in Tony Khan's office where he's talking creative, or Scott D'Amore for that matter. So Christian is not winning that Impact title. It seems like there's going to be 2 people in contention to take that Impact title off Kenny Omega. They are named Moose and Josh Alexander.
Correct.
And I don't see anybody else doing it.
Agreed.
Whoever takes that title off Kenny, the Impact title, is going to be an Impact guy. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be another AEW wrestler. So Christian's not winning on Friday. Mm-hmm. So that leaves 2 routes. One, they do the cheap DQ thing, which AEW generally doesn't do. It's not the main event. Britt versus Red Velvet is going to be the main event on Rampage. In fact, the Impact title match is opening the show on Friday. So because of that, they can say, well, we'll just do a wonky finish and Christian can still have his match on at All Out. Or they actually have the match, the full match Friday on Rampage. Kenny wins, and then he and the rest of the Elite just beat the living hell out of Christian. So he can't make it to All Out. Then steps in Hangman Adam Page. He makes the save. They find a way for him to get into that title bout at All Out, and he could win it there.
I do. They've got to do something. They can't unless the one sticking point to me is I like that scenario. I really do. I hate doing this, but like the idea that Dave Meltzer has all these guys on speed dial, and he's saying that it ain't going to happen. I'd be kind of shocked if Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega did happen at All Out at this point. I really like that scenario. I wonder if the Rampage thing isn't going to be a real match. And as you said in your thing, they just beat the crap out of Christian, but just to get heat on them for the All Out show. Well, and so that'll lead to Christian coming in and having the big underdog thing, and he still loses. But
yeah, if that's the case, then you can't have a finish for the match on Rampage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why it would start. That's why it would start the show.
Exactly. Yeah, as I mentioned. Yeah, it would start the show because they're not going to do a real finish, and they're gonna beat up Christian. Yes, that's entirely possible. Or they have the match, Christian loses, he gets destroyed, then someone else takes a spot at All Out.
Because we still have like
3 weeks.
Three weeks, and Rampage is kind of a big deal. So it's like we've got 3 weeks. We got 6 episodes of programming between now and All Out. There's a lot to do there. So Christian can get taken out at Rampage, and then he still has however 6 episodes left. He takes a couple weeks off, and then he comes back, and in the go home he stands tall over Kenny Omega. Maybe he gives him an unpretty or something to stand tall at the end going into All Out. I really love the idea of Hangman, and the problem is, dude, they keep on mentioning him, and it's like, oh, look what we just did to Hangman. There's, of course, reports out there that his wife in real life is actually going to be delivering a baby around the time of All Out. I personally don't think that would preclude him from taking that much time off. I mean, he could still be at All Out. He could still win the title. He still could be champion. It's not like this is a WWE schedule where, they're on the road a million days a year. So I think that kind of thing is possible. People in wrestling have kids all the time. Look at Matt Hardy. So I still think that it could happen. It's just the guy who's closest to them and reports on stuff has said that he's not going to be there. Therefore, I'm pessimistic. If this stuff goes down with Hangman, man, that'd be great. And it is weird that they wouldn't have him at basically their I mean, I know Double or Nothing might be their Mania. I still kind of consider All Out to be their Mania. Yeah, I
All Out to be their Mania too, because it's All In's the show that started it all. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of consider that to be their top pay-per-view of the year. I mean, it's 1A, 1B between that and Double or Nothing. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a quick shout out here because we had a very generous friendo in our Twitch chat drop a bunch of gifted subs. Actor Chad gave us a bunch of dropped a bunch of gifted subs to our community. So thank you very much for that, Actor Chad. We really appreciate it.
We do.
So yeah, otherwise, man, another really fun episode of Dynamite tonight. And it kicked off with a killer match with like a star-making performance for one Dante Martin. I mean, we've seen this dude in a match with one of his teammates tonight, Matt Sydal, just put on a killer show like a month or so ago. It was awesome. Tonight, no different. He had that crowd in the palm of his hands. This kid's going to be absolutely huge.
Yep.
Britt Baker with the big Pittsburgh reaction with just a killer Pittsburgh themed jacket.
Oh, it was off the charts, man.
With the Steelers and the Penguins colors on it. I thought that was really cool. What else stood out to you tonight?
I thought that if I had one criticism of the show, and this is a minor one, is that I thought it was a bit talky. I've grown to enjoy wrestling in my wrestling programs and keeping the talking stuff to a minimum. That's just how I like my wrestling programming. That being said, I thought there were a couple of really standout promos. I thought Malakai Black's bit was really good. He's obviously, assuming he wrote this himself, he's a pretty damn good writer.
Probably wrote it, probably filmed it.
Yeah, in terms of his use of language, I thought was outstanding. And of course, Miro, you put a camera in front of Miro, you can't look away. Every week, he's dropping something awesome. Just awesome.
He's pretty great.
You give him 90 seconds, and he can do so much in terms of developing his own character, hyping up a match. I mean, here's the thing: why I like Miro so much. He says a lot in as few words as possible. You know, there's an efficiency to his promos that I really appreciate, and I think that's why I like Malakai Black's too. Is it was like a minute and a half at most.
Yeah, it was quick.
Said absolutely everything you need to say, and no more.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Yeah, I like how poetic both those guys are.
Yeah,
I mentioned this
definitely
today about Ilya as well. Is that I like when they inject a little bit of, I don't know, it's not like literal poetry, but eloquence in their language.
Yeah, totally.
I love that stuff. It's well thought out. It's not your cookie cutter, well, let me tell you something, brother, kind of stuff.
Exactly.
You know, I'm so over that stuff. It's 2021. We shouldn't ever hear at the end of the day, we shouldn't ever hear, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't exist anymore. Give me Nick Jackson cawing. You know, that's what I want to hear. That's the new let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah, it's that. It's Malakai essentially speaking poetry to us in promo form, and it's Miro being Miro. That's what I want to see in my promos these days. You're right. I don't want to hear at the end of the day, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any of that stuff.
It's Miro being spiritual and sexual in the same clause.
Yes,
it's great.
It's fantastic. The show kicked off with promo, which is unusual for AEW. Happens from time to time. Usually they start with match. So it's MJF. He says he's beaten Jericho twice. Jericho has never beat him, and Jericho can't handle it. Jericho has chased redemption with reckless abandon, but holy shit, has it made for great TV. MJF says, even I'm feeling bad for him. He's come so far, and he's so close to this match with him, only to be stopped at arm's length from the finish line by Wardlow. But he throws this scenario at Jericho. Let's say that Jericho manages to vanquish Wardlow and get the match with MJF. After all he went through, he's going to realize that MJF is still better than him, and he knows it. And then Wardlow just says in the background, oh, I'll beat him. And then MJF says, just like you beat Cody in the cage, yeah? Go get the job done. And this whole time, MJF's eating an apple. So he hands the apple to Wardlow, leaves, and Wardlow just squeezes the apple with his hand.
Yeah. A tease for later on down the line, because that's going to blow up at some point.
Yes.
After that, we had just a killer match to kick us off. Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, the Elite, versus the Sydals and Dante Martin. We could describe the moves in this match, but holy crap. Just a lot of really, really fun, high-flying stuff. Dante Martin is just next level video game type stuff. Kenny, of course, doing a bunch of shady shit while the ref gets distracted quite a bit. Dante Martin had several
That
near
Rana
falls.
to the outside on Kenny. Oh my god.
Absolutely nuts. Just absolutely nuts.
Oh my
He
God.
got it. The closest he got was sort of a 2 with a bunch of stuff on. After that, Rana and a bunch of stuff on the outside. He got a 2 on Matt Jackson. The crowd thought for sure that was going to be it. The Elite came back with a bunch of super kicks and V-triggers for that entire team. Kenny hits an Ishigoroshi on Martin, then a really great V-trigger. Dante gets out of a one-winged angel, eats a V-trigger. A bunch of stuff happens. Another killer V-trigger. Then we get the one-winged angel on Martin and a BTE V-trigger for 3 to finish off Team Dudes Who Fly a Lot.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break here to get a word in from our sponsor, Amazon Music. Since all the friendos out there are listening to this show, it's safe to assume you love listening to podcasts. Well, you'll find a ton of podcasts, including this one, on Amazon Music.
That's right. Amazon Music has more than 10 million free podcasts to listen to. But that's not all. They also have thousands of music stations and great playlists to stream for free.
Yeah, and if you're like Larson and love your music on demand and ad-free, you got to give Amazon Music Unlimited a try. It gives you unlimited access to a lot of songs, and I mean a lot of songs, like 75 million songs, as well as podcasts, music videos, and so much more.
And with Amazon Music Unlimited, you can listen to any song anywhere, whether it be in the car, walking your dog, doing wind sprints, anywhere, offline, and with unlimited skips.
Or listen to podcasts like Going in Raw. So if you've never tried Amazon Music Unlimited, now's a great time. For a limited time, new customers can try Amazon Music Unlimited free for 30 days. No credit card required. Just go to amazon.com/GIR.
That's amazon.com/GIR to try Amazon Music Unlimited free for 30 days. Amazon.com/GIR. Renews automatically. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
So Schiavone hits the ring to interview the Elite. Callis just grabs the mic from him. Tells Pittsburgh they've never seen a winning team like this before, but he's interrupted by Christian's music. So Christian is standing on the stage. Callis calls him a Stamford stooge. Says, "Oh, you're not that bright. There's 10 of us in here. There's only one of you. You're outnumbered." Jurassic Express joins Christian on stage. We go to commercial. We come back. It's that 2 minutes time. Christian and Jurassic Express have made the way to the ring. Callis tells Christian he's getting the title shot all out, and he and Kenny are happy about it because Christian is a hell of a wrestler. He's a ring general. He's got one of the best finishers he's ever seen, and Kenny can't wait to kick out of it. He says, "I'm not sure why you're out here. Are you nervous? Well, don't be, because Kenny is going to make sure you finally have that 5-star match you always wanted." And he tells Christian, "Go back and sit on the bench." And then Christian calls Callis a carny piece of shit.
Yeah.
Says, "Oh, I apologize. We're in Pittsburgh, so I should say you're a carny jagoff."
Jagoff. I guess that's a Pittsburgh thing.
Yeah, I saw some signs with that on there. So Christian says, "I met with TK while Khan was meeting with Scott D'Amore. And yes, I'm fighting for the AEW title all out. But in case you're counting wrong, Kenny has more than one belt. And Kenny will be wrestling this Friday on Rampage. It's going to be the two of them, Kenny and Christian, for the Impact title." So Kenny snatches the mic, and he's trying to say something. When it was kind of awkward here at the end. So Christian's music hits, and then Jungle Boy takes the mic and then says, "I also talked to Tony Khan. We get a title shot against the Young Bucks." So then his music starts playing again. Kenny grabs the mic and says, "Hold on, stop, cut the music, cut the music, cut the music. Are y'all singing, oh, or are you saying no?" And it says, "We're through here," and then they leave.
Yeah. That was a funny line. My favorite thing right now is Callis not understanding simple math.
I know. Now we got a 4-man or a 6-man booth here. There's 4 of us, Don.
Yeah, there's
I
4
do the
of us,
work
Don.
of 4 people. That
All
would
right,
be
that
7.
makes that would be 7. That's great stuff. After that, we had that aforementioned Malakai Black video. Am I really the bad guy here? He says, "I sense a lot of doubt from a lot of you. The current narrative seems to be he who speaks the truth is labeled the fool. I have no room for fools. I'm lonely because I choose solitude." I'm paraphrasing here. Cody, and he looked at his boot. He says, "You already have one foot in the grave. And then he says something about talking a voice is so low that you'll think you're talking to God or something like that.
He says,
I don't know. It was all pretty great stuff.
He says, to whoever who I want to appear in front of next, just know that I'm going to make you feel desolate and alone. The only thing you'll have left to talk to are shadows. Then you understand that the volume of your voice is so low. Now you realize that you've been arguing with God.
Yeah.
I went back on Twitter and watched it again so I can actually transcribe it because I thought it was really good.
It was pretty great. Then we had my highlight of the entire night. Of course, it was the video package promo. We got our first look, dude, at Rhodes to the top. Oh my God. What a fucking ego rub for the Rhodes family. This was hilarious in how bad it looks, man.
Yeah, it looks pretty
At first, because at first when they mentioned it, they're like, we got this new reality show. And the first couple things you see is some behind the scenes stuff at Dynamite. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, cool. Because I in the back of my head, I was like, oh, is this the Cody thing? But when they didn't mention that specifically at the beginning, and I was like, oh man, are they going to do like a breaking ground type thing, but for AEW? Are they really blowing things open? And then it was just Cody. And it was like, oh Lord, I do not need this in my life.
No.
It was pretty funny.
It was pretty bad.
Everybody's giving me a headache.
I know.
That was Brandy.
We
do all this stuff for everybody else.
Oh, I know. Then we got Miro promo. He says, as a humble man, I serve my vengeful God and please my perfect wife over and over. It says he was called to forgive last week after defeating Lee Johnson, and he did that after he beat the shit out of him. He says everybody in the locker room, they're scared, but they go and do interviews to say how much they love AEW, how'd they die for it. And he holds up the TNT title and says, well, here's your chance. He says now they're going to bribe my next opponent with an AEW contract if he defeats Miro. His next opponent is Fuego.
Fuego's
going to get annihilated.
He's going to get murdered. He's going to get absolutely murdered. This next match was pretty good. Daniel Garcia versus Darby Allin. There's a picture-in-picture promo with him and his new friends 2.0. Garcia says he would have beat Darby if it wasn't for Kingston and Mox last week. 2.0 has some words for Sting meddling at ringside. That came to fruition here. Good, solid match. Garcia put a good fight up, but Darby hits a stunner and a coffin drop for 3 after the match. 2.0 tries to mix it up. Sting takes them out. Darby chips in, and the good guys stand tall. It's hard to call 2.0 bad guys, though.
Yeah, no, they're wildly entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Wildly entertaining. That brawl up the ramp was great. Seeing Sting suplex Matt Lee on the ramp.
Yeah, and then
else.
Offer a hand up for Jeff Parker and then just lay him out anyways. It's pretty funny.
And then Jeff Parker just kind of essentially rolls off the ramp to escape.
Yeah.
Then we got a Death Triangle promo. Phoenix asked Pac if he has seen what Andrade has been doing. Said we got to do something about it. Penta says that he wants to take on Andrade first, and he says a bunch of stuff in Spanish, and Alex is about to translate. And what does Pac say?
Entiendo, Alex. Pac learned Spanish. I was floored. I was joking about the Rose to the Top thing. This was actually my moment of the night because it was Pac and he had learned a bit of Spanish so he could effectively communicate with their language, with his friends, with his familia. He said, Entiendo, Alex.
It was great.
Oh.
It was great.
I was not expecting that tonight.
Yeah.
That was really great. So Pac says, Penta, don't worry about him. Let me worry about Andrade. You guys focus on the tag. And then he pumps them up. He says, you guys focus on the tag titles. You are the best and deserve gold. Andrade, the reality is we don't know you. We don't like you. And we don't know why you're obsessed with Death Triangle. But that stops now. For whatever reason, you have a problem anywhere, anytime. Come and have a go if you think you're hot enough.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, that was great. That whole thing was great, man.
It was great.
So then that match was, it was later on Andrade responds to it.
Yeah. So then we get Best Friend, we get Chuck, we get Orange Cassidy, we get Wheeler Yuta taking on Matt Hardy and Private Party of Hardy Family Office. There was a lot of fun stuff with Orange Cassidy here, that bit where Orange blocks the delete chant and puts Matt Hardy's hand in his pocket. That was fun. He did that he made fun of Matt Hardy's splash, but from the first rope.
That was pretty funny, yeah.
The Hardy Point thing. There were some other funny bits.
All the personality that they're injecting in a private party, I really enjoy. They look like they're having a blast as heels, and it's going to help them down the line.
Oh, heck yeah. At one point, the Bunny's trying to get involved. Statlander puts a stop to it. However, Nyla Rose comes out, lays out Statlander, and then Jack Evans takes out Orange Cassidy for a spell. In the end, though, Cassidy tags himself in. Wheeler Yuta hits a German suplex on Mark Quinn. However, Mark Quinn is not the legal man. Sorry, I should say Isaiah Cassidy, not Orange Cassidy. So Isaiah Cassidy breaks up that cover with a swanton, has a cover of his own, gets a 2. Private Party puts Yuta on the top rope. Chuck gets over there to get involved, but Matt Hardy pulls him out of the ring. And then Private Party hits Gin and Juice on Wheeler Yuta. Orange Cassidy breaks up that pin. And then Hardy pushes Mark Quinn into Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy tumbles out of the ring, hits Wheeler Yuta with a twist of fate to get the W for Hardy Family Office.
Good job, Hardy Family Office. That's a terrible name. That's such a bad name.
It's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. So we got the response from Andrade and Chavo to Pac. He says, Pac, you're very ungrateful. Chavo says, Andrade has shown you, Pac, the high life. This is the thanks you give him. And Andrade says, Pac, be careful for what you wish for. And Chavo says, we're going to teach Pac who the boss is at All Out. Another potential show stealer, Pac versus Andrade. That's going to be a killer match.
Next, we got a Santana and Ortiz promo. I only caught like the first sentence of this. They said they're hungrier than ever, and if they get in the ring with FTR, the outcome's going to be different. What else did they talk about, Steve?
I have no idea. I just wrote down that it was a video package. I'm assuming that is this match going to happen at All Out or something? I mean, I don't feel like there was a lot of substance here. So they just each want to fight each other.
There was more B-roll of Cash Wheeler's bleeding arm and stuff. I saw bits.
Yeah,
and pieces of that.
I don't need to see that anymore. That's nasty. I like that they're using it for story, but you know. Yeah. After that, we had Nyla Rose versus Kris Statlander. This is good stuff. Although I could have done without Vicky Guerrero screaming in Orange Cassidy's face.
Oh no, I like that.
Oh, I can't. It's not. No. There's a great bit where Nyla does the thing where she drapes Statlander over the top rope for the leg drop.
Yeah, that was good.
And then Statlander just gets out of it by walking on her hands. But Nyla Rose just spears the shit out of her. So anyway, Statlander is able to counter Nyla Rose with something with a power bomb.
Yeah.
Goes up top and then hits Area 451 for the win. So Statlander is climbing up those rankings.
Yeah, she's undefeated since she returned from injury. So
there you
go. It seems like she could be Britt's opponent at All Out potentially.
Could be.
Then we get a Young Bucks promo. They're in the little basketball area. Matt says last week the EVPs, extremely violent people, struck again. Bye Hangman. And earlier tonight they showed the world why they're truly elite and why for the past year they've showed everybody they're the best tag team. Nobody's in their league. Nick says, yeah, next week it's going to be as easy as a layup. He goes for a layup. He gets swatted by Luchasaurus.
He gets swatted away. That was great.
And then Jungle Boy comes in, dunks on Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And then Luchasaurus says, not in my house. And then Jurassic Express walk off.
And then Nick cries foul.
Yeah.
And Cutler says, nah, man, that was all ball.
Yeah.
And then they yell at Cutler.
It was great.
Cutler's my favorite thing, man. He's so great these days. He is so terrific as a bad guy.
He is.
After that, we had a Red Velvet video promo. This is pretty well done.
Yeah.
Basically talks about having to prove herself as a brand new commodity in AEW. Had to show what she had and mixing it up with everybody. And she respects Britt Baker, but she doesn't like that she's on top. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, a huge reaction there in Britsburg for Britt Baker. She came out for an interview promo type thing with Tony Schiavone. She says, I can't relate to Red Velvet because ever since I've been here, since day one, I've been the face of this division. I've been the baddest bitch on the block. I can relate to her fearlessness, though. I stepped up and wasn't afraid when this city needed a new champion. I bleed black and gold, but we all know this has been a difficult year. So I present to you, Pittsburgh. And she raises her title and says, Hope. And she says, and speaking of Hope, Red, you might have had a glimmer of it if you were wrestling me in any other city, but not Britsburg. You wanted to swim with sharks. I'm dragging you to the deep end. Excuse me. Because this Friday, it's me and you in the main event of Rampage. She says, so Tony, let's practice. And she has little flags. And she says, and still, your women's champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And then Red Velvet comes out of nowhere and attacks, and then it's all broken up.
Yep. Then we got a Ricky Starks, Brian Cage video package, and Starks pretty much says, hey, I'll be on Dynamite by myself next week. And they have them those things where it's like they shot the two interviews simultaneously, so they're answering each other. And Cage says, well, if you want to meet me face-to-face, man-to-man, you won't fare well because I'm not a man, I'm a machine.
These are so speed run. It's like they just get them in there and get them out of there. They sort of treat any Team Taz thing like that. I appreciate that. It's an FTW title, so it's like, who cares really? Like Cage even said, I didn't even want this title.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of Ricky Starks. I think he's great.
He's great.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with him after he's done with Brian Cage.
Yeah. Then we get Dark Order versus Good Brother. Scott D'Amore joins commentary.
Bullet Club member himself.
Yeah, for this match. It was a fun match. Dark Order got off to a fast start until Cutler pulls Uno off the apron, and then Colt Cabana goes after Cutler, chases him up the ramp where Cutler is laid out by Frankie Kazarian, the Elite Hunter himself. So Evil Udo's isolated for a good stretch. He eventually gets the hot tag, Stu Grayson. He goes on a run, hits Anderson with this crazy corkscrew springboard moonsault. Gallows in to break the pin up. Shortly thereafter, Stu hits a double Pele kick on the Good Brothers, gets the tag into Uno. They hit a bunch double team offense. They're going for their finish. Carl escapes that. Stu jumps right into an uppercut from Doc Gallows. Good Brothers go for a magic killer. Uno breaks that up. He tosses Gallows out of the ring and then basically launches Stu at Gallows ringside. Uno then hits Anderson with essentially the end of days. They set up for their finish. And then Gallows tosses a title in the ring. That distraction allows Carl Anderson to hit Uno with a gun stun. Good Brothers follow with a magic killer on Stu to get the win.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Solid match. After that, we had the QT Marshall apology.
Hold on. There was a Kamille video package.
Oh, yeah. This was cool. This was neat. She just sort of introduced herself and mocked a little bit, kind of, or sarcastically mentioned the Forbidden Door thing.
Yeah.
And she said, Layla's thing is she tries to get people to the ground. She says, well, you're not going to do that to me. Mm-hmm. So I don't think she's going to have much issue with Layla Hirsch, but it should be a fun match. I like Kamille quite a bit.
Yeah. Anyways.
And then we had the QT Marshall apology. So Tony's in there, QT Marshall, who got bumped last week for the apology.
Well, he's gotten bumped 3 weeks in a row.
He's got his bowling shirt on. He's very happy with that. It's fresh out of the laundry. He says, Tony, you got my words twisted like everyone here. I said there'd be an apology because after the disrespect you showed me, you should be apologizing to me. But if we waited for you to do that, we'd be here forever. And Tony, it's great because earlier in the show, Tony had mentioned at the head of the show that his son was here in town. And so I was like, that's sort of an interesting thing to mention. And sure enough, an hour later, it plays out. He says, so I'm going to apologize to you, Tony, for what we're about to do to your son right now. And what was Tony? It was like Chris Schiavone or something like that?
Yeah, Christopher
Schiavone, who's either 20 years old or 40 years old. I couldn't figure it out. Camarado goes to ringside, grabs this dude from the crowd. QT punches him in the gut. Tony says, fine, I apologize, you son of a bitch. Is that what you want? And then QT's like, apology not accepted, and hits a diamond cutter, which Christopher proceeds to get up fairly quickly from. But to make the save, well, the no more BS, Paul White comes out. And QT Marshall, freaked out, throws Aaron Solo at Big Show. Big Show just stares a hole through QT and then just choke slams the shit out of Aaron Solo.
Yeah.
It was a pretty great moment.
It was pretty good.
Well.
So you mentioned Schiavone mentioning that his son was there earlier in the show. There's something else that Excalibur said earlier in the show at the end of the Darby Allin match. I don't know if you caught this. He said, Darby, get another win. If he wins a few more, he could be the best in the world.
Oh, ooh. Yeah, I wonder how many other because I know like last week or the one with 2 weeks ago, there were like a ton of Punk references. After that, we had our
main
event. Wardlow versus Christopher Jericho. It always cracks me up now the fans are back, just how they don't really know the words to Judas, which is going to come into play later.
And they know the melody at least.
They know, what have I become? Nothing I could say.
Something or another, all the people, something away.
I become it.
Yeah, people know that part. Don't know that part.
So Wardlow dominates this sumbitch early. He power bombs the shit out of Jericho.
Was it 8 times? 10 times? Repeatedly.
It was a lot of power bombs, dude.
Repeatedly. All through the picture-in-picture commercial break, he was powerballing Jericho.
It was like 2K, man. It was great.
It was like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, their first match in NXT.
It was pretty awesome. So yeah, Wardlow is just dominating this thing. But towards the finish, that idiot MJF, who's at ringside, of course, tries to get Wardlow the ring and the diamond ring, and the ref kicks him out. And so Jericho uses that distraction because he grabs the bat and he hits Wardlow with that. And then even more devastatingly, he hits Judas Effect. So after the match, Spears attacks Jericho. Sammy makes the save there, but then Wardlow takes out Sammy. MJF puts Jericho in the salt of the earth. Hager comes down, runs them off. So up on the ramp, or on the stage rather, MJF says, here's the deal with the stipulation for the fifth labor. No Judas Effect. You've won every single one of these matches, be it regular Judas Effect, top rope Judas Effect, Judas Effect with bat assist. You've always won with no more Judas Effect, and probably more devastatingly, no Judas theme song. You're going to come out here to complete and total silence. And if I get hit with Judas Effect, guess what? MJF wins. There's a new king in town. His name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. It's MJF.
It's MJF.
So Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter speculated, and I think a lot of people are thinking this, well, the crowd, they're going to just sing the song, but are they going to have, like on the Tron, maybe on the sly?
All the lyrics, and they'll have the little bouncing ball.
Right.
Or it'll just be, are you coming, are you coming?
Because I know how it starts. But
then they'll kind of mumble that bit and just go right to the chorus. What have I become?
Wait. I'm you down and run. It's going to be a bunch of people doing that.
Yeah, it is.
If they'll have a good chance, though, if they do the thing with the karaoke thing with the bouncing Jericho head.
Yeah.
If they do a bouncing Jericho head, they'll be in a good spot. They'll be able to kill that, and that would be something else. That many people,
that could be
doing that stuff.
That could be neat. You want to answer?
So if this is the fifth labor, does that mean they're going to have just a straight up wrestling match at All Out for like the actual match?
I don't know.
You think that'd be a thing, right?
You think that'd be a thing?
Come in.
All right, you want to answer some questions? Yeah.
Lou says crowds are going to have to study before the show.
I know. Everybody's be listening to Judas on the car ride over there.
Or they'll have like a little printouts underneath their chairs with a little Jericho head. Yeah.
Could be.
Anyways.
We got a raid here a while ago from Walty A. Thank you for the raid.
Thank you very much, Walty A. Yeah, let's go ahead and answer some questions. I put up a thread here on the Patreon. Of course, we got a great 328 people here in our live chat. So highlighted messages typically do the trick here on the live show. Can't answer all of them, but we'll do our best. First up is Smurf Galloway says, should this Super Elite add a female member? And if so, who should it be? It'd be cool. I don't know who it would be, though. I mean, all these guys have history with each other.
It'd be Britt.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the Super Elite is they're all champions.
Yeah.
So Britt's champion.
was trying to think of anybody that would have history with any of these people, but I don't know. I don't know. How about this? Io Shirai leaves, and she leaves WWE, becomes part of the Super Elite.
All right.
I don't know.
Fluffy Canuck.
Sheeta. That's a great answer.
Oh, yeah. Sheeta'd be great. It says, Fluffy Canuck says, I have 2 power ranks. You could do both or just one. Top 5 women that'll main event a pay-per-view in AEW, or top 5 next TNT champs. Which one do you want to do?
I'll do top 5 next TNT champs.
All right. We could do the same one.
Well, why do the same one? We could do...
All right.
We could each take one. No, let's collaborate. All right. Top 5. We'll do one after the other. Next TNT champion is going to be Jungle Boy.
That's number 1 for you.
Oh, I thought. Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, I thought we were going to do like lineage, like who gets it after Jungle Boy.
Oh, we could do that.
Let's do that. So I got Jungle Boy first, because I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, that could probably happen. That would probably happen.
I mean, the thing about the TNT title, I'm just going to throw this out there, is that I feel like they have a pretty set lineage in place for the AEW title. I feel like it's going to be Hangman, it's going to be MJF, and then it's probably going to be Darby Allin.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
So the TNT title, I think people coming in from WWE or other places, I think they could be a little bit more loosey-goosey with it. But my first guy is going to be Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy. That's good. Who is Jungle Boy? Does he have like someone he'd consider a rival?
Early on, wasn't it? Who was it early on? Didn't he have like kind of a rival early on? So was it Sammy? Sammy's always been, well, no, Sammy. Yeah, was it Sammy?
That sounds right. Ouch.
Sammy's not a terrible. Sammy's a good answer. Sammy hasn't done a whole lot.
Sammy.
All right, so Sammy's next. And then after Sammy could, at any point in time, he could be a heel or a face. I'm going to say after him, we're going to start getting into new releases territory. I'm going to say, I feel like Malakai Black is too big for that thing.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'll say after Sammy, it'll be... You know what? I'll say they're going to go young. I'm going to say Dante Martin.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be like one of those shock things, you know?
Yeah. We're at 4.
We're at 3. We need 4. Yeah. We need 4. Yeah.
Well, go ahead and take 4. I know whom I have for 5. I got someone in mind for 5.
It's going to be Lance Archer. He's finally going to get that thing.
Okay, and then who's going to beat him for it? Cody.
Yeah, Cody. It's been long enough. I can't believe I haven't been a champion for this long.
In terms of women who will main event a pay-per-view in AEW, Britt Baker's got to top that list.
It's going to be Britt. It would not shock me if Britt Thunder Rosa main evented the next, like whatever their next big match is, when Thunder Rosa wins that title off her, it's going to main event a pay-per-view. That wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me.
Oregon Grinder says, what if next week when CM Punk debuts on AEW comes out and weighs like 400 pounds? When was the last time any of us have seen him? He just did an interview with Sunday Night Main Event. He looked like Phil Brooks. There was a picture
we've
always seen him
that I saw from Heels.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they put on, it's not a fat suit, but it's an exterior skin because he had no tattoos.
Yeah.
And he looked a little flabbier, not like, like if normal Phil had put on like 25 pounds, not like a lot. He just looked a little heavier and his nipples looked weird. So I knew, I was like, oh, that's like a really realistic looking, like exterior skin. It's a flashback. That's exactly what it is. It's a flashback.
It'd be interesting to see, to kind of get a little bit off topic, because in UFC, I think I've mentioned this before, he fought at 175 or something like that?
It was really low, yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to he was over 200 pounds when he wrestled for WWE. So I wonder if he's going to put some weight back on or not. I don't know.
You would think that'd be the case.
Yeah, who knows?
I know he wasn't happy when he weighed too much in WWE, but yeah, whatever he's comfortable at. All right, Assassin RKO says, are we going to watch heels? Hell yeah, we're going to watch heels. I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Let's see here. Pop Punk Bob Ross asks, with Punk and Bryan most likely joining the roster soon, who are your ideal feuds for both of them? He'd love to see MJF and Punk mouth off at each other personally. I'd love to see Malakai Black versus CM Punk. I would love to see that.
I want to see Daniel Bryan and Pac.
Yeah, like with Bryan, it's sort of like yeah. There's a lot of matches there for Bryan and Punk, really. But yeah, those are good. Those are really good.
Rao with the sub, thank you so much. John Elite, where does AEW have the advantage over WWE aside from storytelling?
Where does AEW have the advantage over WWE aside from storytelling?
So I'd still give the edge for the most part, with production stuff to WWE.
For sure, yeah.
Especially when it comes to capturing moments.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not so much with like week to week camera smash zooms.
Yeah, not
Kevin
so much
Dunn.
that, but in terms of capturing the stories visually, they're more
they do a
consistent
pretty
with
good
that.
job at that. What else does AEW have? Dude, I would not underrate how happy people seem to be at AEW.
Yes, morale in AEW seems pretty high.
I'm not saying that everybody in WWE is not happy to be there at all. I'm sure that a lot of people are very happy to be there and in the positions they're at. But generally speaking, AEW seems like a happy work environment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I like seeing that kind of stuff.
Totally. Solus says, a Jericho Wardlow related question. On Talk is Jericho, none other than Danhausen was teaching Jericho or Chris Judas that the best way to win was to punch Wardlow in the groin right after the bell. Both remained totally in character, by the way, and Chris took notes from Danhausen. Would that have been valid? And is this Jericho giving the seal of approval to Danhausen overall? AEW Hausen. So this wasn't a no DQ match. If Jericho had punched Wardlow in the front area, he would have gotten disqualified and lost the match and not have passed the fourth labor.
Yeah, you can't do that. That being said, I'm sure if Jericho had Danhausen on his podcast, he likes the guy quite a bit. I'm pretty sure Danhausen is signed with Ring of Honor, but it wouldn't shock me after his time was up there if he came over to AEW.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Steve Klain. Who else can join Kaz as an elite hunter?
Oh, good question.
Would they be allowed to be in the same elite hunter faction now that they're not allowed to be SCU anymore? But because Chris Daniels, the Fallen Angel, could he be elite hunter as well?
I guess so long as they're not a tag team. That was a thing. If it's when they lost, they wouldn't be a tag team anymore.
So they'd have to. Yeah, they just couldn't file papers to be a registered tag team.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, it's good.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna say Chris Daniels and Colt Cabana.
There you go. That's good. That's good.
Oh yeah, Billy Gunn. Yeah, Bullet Club Hunter. Yeah.
Oh,
and,
good question.
Obviously, Yoshitatsu.
Yeah. JTV, who'll be the first Triple Crown winner in AEW?
So that's what, world title, TNT, and tag title?
Uh-huh. So Kenny has 2 of the 3.
True. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hangman will have 2 of the 3 soon enough.
I mean, isn't it? It's sort of a toss-up at that point, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Let's see here. Darby, Cody can't until he'll rescind that. Yeah, I would think it's probably. I would say Kenny because he has sort of a head start.
Yeah. Yeah.
If let's say Malakai Black got his hands on the TNT title, and Kenny wanted to go after that, no saying he couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that's a ways off.
Yeah. I think so too. Walty A says, "Do we know why Hangman isn't in the title picture? He still could be.
I think it's one of two things. Either he still will be, or They just want to. They found along the road. They found a story that they like better, that will take a longer period of time to tell, and we'll get to that after All Out, or he will be at All Out.
Speaking of All Out, Dangam Q asks, if she debuts at All Out, what do you want the plans for Ruby Soho to be? Have her work her way up through the rankings, or get an automatic title shot at Full Gear because she was just in WWE? AEW typically doesn't do the latter, where you show up and you get a title shot automatically. They have stories to get their audience acclimated with who you are as a performer. And so I would think it'd have to be, she'd show up, and hopefully they'll make a deal out of her showing up, because it is a deal, because she's a hell of a talent. And yeah, have her get some wins together, work her way up the rankings, get some good stories going for her, and then in, I don't know, a few months, maybe get into a title program. Who knows?
I would say do this. Malakai Black starts a faction, and she's in it. I think that'd be cool. Because, I don't know, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing if they really do sign Ruby. Man, I feel like she was so ill-used in WWE, and she seems like a really creative individual. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Tronan's
Scooter, we did not skip Nyla Rose and Kris Statlander. We definitely talked about it.
Yeah, we did. Tronan says, did you guys see Bronson Reed's Twitter right after Dynamite? The first letters of each line spelled out, "Give me Miro."
Ooh,
yes, please.
There you go. That'd be awesome.
We got another raid here from Couch Potato Lucha Libre.
Oh my gosh. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Luisa Reza, what a great question. Can you guys predict the overall ratings of the top stars for the upcoming AEW game? So let's say it's similar to WWE, where 100 is the most. I think typically in WWE 2K, it's like what Brock and Roman are like 95s, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah, usually
the top guys
95, 96. Yeah, so Candy would be a 95, 96. You'd think
Hangman,
Miro.
I'd say Hangman would be like a 94.
Yeah, Miro would probably be 94, 95, just based on how they're booking him right now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
The Young Bucks would probably be in the low 90s.
93, 92, 93, yeah.
Yeah.
Mox would be a 96.
Yeah, Mox would be
Mox
pretty
is
high up
super
there.
booked.
Yeah.
He is super booked.
Cody, of course, would be a 99.
Cody would be, he would be like the infinity sign.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm all the rating.
Dagger Leap, will Omega hold any belts by the end of All Out? Yes, he could very well still have all of them. If he's fighting Christian, oh yeah, he's gonna have all those titles still. That's totally gonna be a thing. Yeah. So Gracious Plague here in chat says Kiera Hogan wrestled Sheeta on Dark tonight.
Whoa, that's cool.
That's very.
I know
cool.
that I had heard that she was backstage last week, I think.
Yeah.
And Tony Nese was backstage last week as well. Let's see here. Crispy McGrizzle, early fantasy booking, but would you guys like to see Wardlow eventually take the title off MJF in the future? And if not him, then who? What a great idea. You could totally build Wardlow. If MJF is going to be champion after Hangman, Wardlow could totally take it off him. He's got everything. You could shoot him to the moon easily.
Oh, yeah. Pretty darn easily.
All right. Well, then we're going to call it a night. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you for all the subs and all the support. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, with our UK live watch-along. And at 5 p.m. Pacific, the Smash Zone. And for Friendo Club TV members, the numbers don't lie, so we got a stacked day tomorrow.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.